So the end of another Mittens week. Slightly strange one, but I think it's been fulfilling. I've enjoyed being involved. I hope you have. We reached the time when we had to say goodbye, or do we? It's probably worth just mentioning a few people in terms of thank yous again before we just finally depart. I know that you guys would say thank you if you could in person, and maybe you can't this morning. Perhaps what you can do is just put your comments in the YouTube video slot or on Instagram, just to say thank you to people. Just a reminder that Jack and John particularly have done a huge amount to pull all this virtual stuff together. And the rest of the team have contributed. They've helped with cabin clubs, people have done morning thoughts. So there's been a real amount of effort gone in to do this week and put it together for you, and I hope it's been worthwhile and enjoyable. Just one other thank you at the back of it. Maybe we've forgotten them. Usually when we're here at Easter, we have a shore crew that look after us and do a lot of work in terms of feeding us and keeping us warm and fed and looked after during the week. They do a huge amount of their work during the year in preparation. They did that this year. They did a huge amount of work in terms of preparing the food, buying the food, and getting ready for the week. And they've not had a chance to do any of that stuff. But I think it's worth saying thank you to them. So thank you, Marnie. Thank you, Marnie, particularly for the work you do. And thank you to the team of Stephanie, Rog, Phil, and Will, although Will has been around. So thank you, guys, for all you do for us. So every morning this week, the skippers and mates have had their normal morning meeting. 7 o'clock every morning we've got together on Zoom and we've chatted about what's been going on, we've socialised with each other, we've prayed for each other, we've prayed for you, and we've prayed for what's been going on this week. And each morning, as part of our Skippers and Mates programme, we usually have one of the team just gives us a morning thought, just something to stimulate our thoughts and brains and to give us something to think about. Because we don't usually have a Skippers and Mates on a Saturday morning, when we all sat down together this morning on Zoom, we all looked round at each other and I said, is anyone doing morning thought this morning? And there was a blank. So in the absence of having a morning thought, I looked round at the team and thought, who can I rely on? And I voluntold Nick and asked him if he had anything he wanted to share with us. Fortunately, God's got a plan that's bigger than my brain or Nick's or anybody else's, and he planted something brilliant in Nick's brain. Nick shared a little thing with us that I thought was so good that I asked Nick to record it so that we could share it with you now.
As I walk around the streets where I live, I'm seeing lots of pictures of rainbows in windows. Painted by presumably children. Some of them are really brightly coloured and some of them are just barely recognisable. But I could look and just see a child's artistry or lack of it. In Genesis chapter 9, God says, "Whenever the rainbow appears in the sky, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth." There's a pandemic sweeping the nations, a bit like a flood, and people are dying. But God says we won't be completely swept away and wiped out. In the 70s, as I was growing up, there was a very simple sticker that just had a little rainbow and the words, "There is hope." And there is. God is still God. And He has a hope and a future for us. And that is what we need to focus on. Not the wind and the waves of the media sensationalism or the scary numbers or our friends catastrophizing about what might not happen. A bit like Peter, we need to fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith. And like Noah too, when we see the rainbow, either in the sky or in a window, we need to focus on God again and remember that there is hope.
So what next? Are you going to look forward? Are you going to look forward with hope? We'd like to help with that. And I think the team were unanimous this morning when we talked about this, that they would like to continue doing something over the coming weeks for as long as this lockdown ends, to continue to support you in in your life as it goes through these next few weeks. So we are going to do a limited program going forward. We hope that you will enjoy it. We hope you'll get something out of it. We are already getting something out of thinking about it and preparing it. So for the next few weeks, how long we'll let you know during the time, but certainly we're aiming to do something for as long as this lockdown goes on. We will be putting up a morning thought every morning by one of the team in the same way we have done during this week. All 28 people on the meeting this morning put their hand up and said, yep, they'd do that. So that's at least a month we've got. And also in terms of cabin clubs, we are thinking about how we can put together an ongoing cabin club series. Probably once a week rather than more regularly. But we will aim to commit to doing something once a week going forward for as long as we can. The team have already got some ideas for content, and there's going to be a small group of us meeting over the next couple of days to flesh out the ideas and get some details. We will let you know as soon as possible, but we are looking to find one day in the week when we repeat the process every single week. So if there are days you can't do, let us know. There's bound to be somebody we let down, and I'm sorry, but if we can get it right for as many people as possible, that would be great. So that's it. Only it isn't. Hopefully you've enjoyed what's gone before. Hopefully we'll be able to do something for you going forward. Take care, keep safe, and look after yourselves.